Are you new to Splitgate 2 and want to dominate in the game? My name is Static Suppressor, and I've got 10 tips that'll help you out.
You're left. Oh, God. Nope. Come on. Right team up. Nope.
Crazy. Oh my god. Oh.
Flying V.
Oh. He's out. He's right here.
Oh.
All right, so we're going to dive into these 10 tips that I have for you that are actually most commonly missed by most players, new and old. If you do enjoy these 10 tips I dish out, plus any Splitgate content that you see on my channel, if you can give this video a thumbs up and hit that subscription button and the notification bell so you know when yours truly posts another video in the future, let's dive right in. Now, the first tip I have for you is using portals to help boost your movement. Now, what do I mean by this? Well, in certain areas, in certain maps, there will be moments that you can capitalize on to help really gain momentum and speed, more so than you would just naturally be able to do, even if you were using a faction like Arrows. So, for example, in this map, you'll be able to turn around, shoot a portal on that off platform, jump straight down, because you'll see there's a little platform with a portal kind of area as well, and right before you hit the ground, you place your other portal, and you will come zooming out of that other portal that's going to take you up and over the whole entire map. At the end of the day, even if you get killed trying to do this kind of momentum and this kind of movement ability, it just makes for awesome feel in the gameplay. And can make for awesome clips too, where people will come out of that portal, land, hold B to slide if you're on controller, and then you could just start zooming around enemies which way, and they are just not on it when it comes to reaction times, and that gives you the upper hand immediately. All right, tip number 2. Portals block the enemy line of sight. Now, this is perfect for example, escaping a sniper fight. Putting down a portal, going through your portal blocks that sniper's complete vision, so they aren't going to be able to pick you off when you've gone through your portal. Now, with this tip also comes the hilarious content that you can create of actually baiting your enemy. If you've seen any kind of popular Splitgate 2 clips maybe rolling around the ether, you'll see some players will actually put a portal that leads to nowhere or out of bounds or out of the map, and then when they go to fight someone, they'll put a portal down, go through it knowing that their portal doesn't lead anywhere. The enemy has no idea. They chase them through their own portal, and then they just fall off the map completely because they're in a panic of what they just walked into. So if you are a content creator and you're looking for some hilarious clips, that's a perfect example of how to use the portal blocked line of sight. Tip number 3. Only use your portals if you have to. This is a classic analogy of zero builds and builds on Fortnite. For builds, you tend to get a lot of people who are great at building super big structures, right? But their gunplay is lacking. Well, the same kind of concept comes here with Splitgate 2. Just because you see someone who's crazy on the portals doesn't mean that they're crazy on the gunplay. So you don't have to be crazy on the portals either to do just as well, if not better. Patience is key when it comes to using your portals, and you really don't need to use them unless it's something for quickness of getting to an objective, or if you need a quick escape. Outside of that, if you're just starting off, take it easy. Just play the game as you would if it were a Call of Duty multiplayer match. And then over time, you'll get good at portaling into gunplay type situations versus just escape routes and objective type modes. Tip number 4. You can actually tell when an enemy is looking through their portal. You'll know if an enemy is looking through their portal to the other side, even though you have a blocked line of sight, because you'll see the fact that the portal itself is much more red in color, and audibly, it'll almost give a pulsating sound of sorts. That indicates there's an enemy looking through on the other side. Now, this is perfect because then you'll be able to start just beaming through that portal. If anything, because there is no line of sight, you'll at least scare them enough to close their portal, and then they'll have to resituate. Which leads into tip number 5 on the other end of the spectrum. Don't actually go through your portal if you don't need to. Now, this comes in handy in certain things like King of the Hill or hot zones, where you can place a portal near that hot zone area, and then you could just sit on the other side of that portal and start beaming enemies that think, oh, this area is open, there's no one here. And little do they know, as soon as they drop into that area, bullets will start zinging on through your own portal, because technically you're kind of camping out the hotspot, if you will, but in a very clever and tactical way to prevent enemies from getting there and allowing your teammates to get to that hot zone in time. This tip is actually just really great when it comes to high kill matches, such as Hot Zone, where you could just be sitting safely and soundly, just shooting through your own portal across the map at the actual area that everyone else is focused on. Tip number 6, you can portal through shields. Now, this is a very faction-esque tip, but a lot of people don't realize that if you're fighting against a Sabrask character and they put down their shield that goes right in front of them, you can actually portal through it if there is a portal kind of landing, if you will, directly behind them, giving them perfect flank. And this gives the best element of surprise because they'll never know what even hit them. Tip number 7 is kind of overlooked a lot. Don't overuse your jetpack. Now, this might seem counterintuitive on Splitgate 2, as having the jetpack is kind of unique to the game, outside of us actually experiencing that from, let's say, like Halo. If you overuse your jetpack, you're basically a flying, floating target. So you really only want to utilize your jetpack when it is needed. For example, getting out of an area quickly if you are getting sniped at, because snipers tend to take a little bit more time trying to line up their shot if you are a floating, moving target that can kind of hover up and down as needed. Tip number 8, don't forget you can change your loadout. Now, tip number 8 is very specific to quick arena gameplay matches, but you can actually change your loadout mid-match. So just as a friendly reminder, if you press start on your controller, myself, I'm an Xbox person, so if you press start on your controller, you'll see, and you have to scroll down a little, it'll say change loadout. Tip number 9, you can actually cancel your enemy's portals. Now in Splitgate 1, if you wanted to cancel out an enemy's portal, you simply had to throw your EMP grenade at the enemy portal to close it on one side. So if you see an enemy portal, simply portal over that enemy's portal. That's it. This comes in handy because on certain points, there might be a bunch of enemy portals trying to come around you while you're taking that hill. But if you want to be quick on the trigger finger, just start spamming your portal button over the enemy pop-ups that keep on arising and whatnot. It makes for hilarious content, by the way. But that's the perfect way to do it, is simply cancel the enemy portal by shooting your own portal over it. And of course, as a side note, don't forget, in order to close your portal, make sure you hit down on the D-pad. Again, that's for controller people, but down on the D-pad closes your portals. Finally, tip number 10, don't stick to one game mode. Again, you might be wondering, how does this actually improve my gameplay? But if you're someone and you only want to play the Battle Royale, for example, but then eventually, because it is very tempting and it's all right there in your playlist selection, you will eventually go into the arena quick play matches, it'll be like a night and day difference. Now, I personally love the LTMs. They always have the best variety of gameplay, and what's awesome about it is that if you're someone who's trying to level up your Sabrask, for example, right? But you're like, dang, I'm not really good with any of the Sabrask guns, but I really want to get that person leveled up so I can unlock all of Sabrask's perks. Well, those LTMs will come in handy, because you might have something like Fiesta Simulation where it doesn't matter who you're playing as, because the weapons will always be randomized and a fun variety, but you can still play as whichever faction, Eros, Meridian, or Sabrask that you'd like, and you will still level them up accordingly and not need to rely on the faction-specific guns that you would normally get in Arena Quick Play. Again, if you guys did enjoy this video, please comment down below if there's any other kind of Splitgate 2 gameplay, tips, tricks, what have you that you'd like me to kind of showcase, and I'd be happy to kind of point them out to you. All right, until next time, stay safe, be healthy, keep streaming. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.